the second thing I want you to see, not only wisdom has a distinct difference in their origin, but the second thing, there is a deceptive difference in their operation. They work different. It's deceptive and it's slight. And if we're not careful, then we will be leaning over to deception at the expense of having a divine relationship with our Lord. Because old folks, you say like this, only what you do for Christ will last. And I don't know about you, but I want to have a lasting relationship with the Lord. So let us look at a couple of verses in James chapter 3. In James chapter 3, let's look at verse 13 and 14, and then drop down to verse number 17, I believe. Verse 13 and 14 say, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envy and self-seeking in your heart, do not boast and lie against the truth. In other words, don't sit there and try to make your boasting don't try to make your lust for things as this is the way God created me. God made me like this. And oftentimes we are lie, when the truth will very much do. We'll sit here and say, well, I'm only doing it in order to be a better blessing to my church. I'm only doing it so I can have a better experience, so my children can have a better life than I had. And I tell people all the time, I used to work for the prison. And there was this one particular young man, you could tell that he really didn't fit in with the other inmates. He was well manicured, he was well spoken, well versed. But this young man, I don't know what he was in there for to this day. But obviously he did something that got him there. And his mom and dad came and they was refined people. And his dad was sitting at the table. His mom was up there just crying profusely, and they were sitting there and they were discussing, and I was sitting at the observation table, kind of, a little bit away, but I could still hear. And so I was tuned in because the dad was talking to the son about all the things that him and his mom tried to do in order to make his life better. Whatever you wanted, whatever you needed, we had it for you. When you graduated, we gave you a brand new car. We gave you money. You had your own account. I don't understand why you would do something as stupid as you did to land you up here. Now look at you. What are people going to think about me and your mama? Don't y'all, because your mama going to do something. You done brought shame on the family. He just started, I'm like, dang, dude. I feel bad for him. But he answered in such a way that shut both his parents up in their tracks. He said, yes, you gave me this, you gave me that, but you didn't give me you. Dad, you didn't know what I like or dislike. You just gave me stuff. And he got comfortable in receiving. And then one day he hit it. He didn't have a relationship with his dad. And oftentimes, the enemy will step in and deceive us, make us think that we're doing the right thing, and all we're doing is destroying our family. I know many men and women who are workaholics, and their children are the expense account. They're expendable. Why? Because I'm doing it for them. And so we got to get to a place where we understand that Satan is a deceiver. I'm just trying to build a foundation. And one writer, matter of fact, when y'all get home, this is your homework assignment. Homework number 1, write this down. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. It's 26 verses. Read them. And I want you to get back with me throughout the week and say, Pastor, I read it. And I want you to tell me what you thought about it. Because Solomon was a wise man who wound up acting like a fool. And so Solomon has something to say about this very discussion, so I couldn't put it in the sermon because we'll be here until tomorrow. So I'm going to give it to you as a homework assignment, and I'm looking at everybody, so I know who in here and who's not. I'll find your number. Okay, where you go? I will find it. I want to hear back. Brother guy, you got to go do sister guy. Well, this is what brother guy said. Pat, that's you? Pat? Yeah, hey, man, Pat, you're not going to wait no more. And so why? Because we got to understand. We go after all these things only to get to the end of life and find out it ain't worth it. And so when we look at it, we got to think that's a deception there. And so let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 tells us something very, very interesting, the first 3 verses. And when I read this out, I said it was wow. And I wish I could give it all to you the way the Lord gave it to me, but I'm going to give you as much of it as possible. I'm serious. When I was studying just these couple of verses here, actually verse 3, I just reading verse 1 and 2 for content and context. I stayed an hour and 45 minutes just doing a word study on verse number 3. Verse number 3. And it just unloaded on me. And here's what it says. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. It says, and I, brethren, could not speak to you as to spiritual people, but as to carnal, as to babes in Christ. I fed you with milk and not with solid food, for until now you were not able to receive it. And even now you are still not able. You are still carnal, for where there are envy, strife, and division among you, are you not carnal and behaving like mere men? It asks the question. Because remember we just read you should desire the word like sincere milk. But you should stay on milk. Now all my children are pretty much past breastfeeding age. Hey, if my 14-year-old son go up to his mom and say, it's needing time. I know it's not politically correct, but he's a child. You're slow. Isn't it? No, it ain't no needing time. You better go get a burger. You were not designed to stay on milk. We were designed to go from milk to meat. And if you never meet the meat stage, then something is wrong with your spiritual development. And you need to find out its origin. And so what Paul's saying is, by this time, you should be on meat, but I still got to feed you with milk. Why? Because you're still carnal. In other words, you're operating out of your flesh. And Paul said, as a believer, no doubt you're a believer, has nothing to do with your salvation. It just has things to do with your walk. And so what Paul's saying is, your walk is just like mere men. Y'all know what mere men mean? It's the word anthropos. In the Greek, it's the word anthropos. It's where we get the word anthropology from. And anthropology is a scientific study on the origin, the behavior, and all the social, cultural ramifications on men and humans. It's just a study of where we come from, what we do, and why we do it. And Paul said, you acted just like them. One translation says, unregenerate men. Ignorant people. You're supposed to be children of light, and you walk in there just as dark as they are. I say, wow. He said, I should be seeing disciple makers. But I'm seeing people who are still needing to be discipled. And you've been in church a long time, and you haven't changed. So how do you know when a church is not functioning according to God's design? He said it right here. He said, where there is envy. I just want what I want. Jealousy. You can't always have it your way. He said, there's division among you. Is that not what your Bible says? And when there's division, that means you're not operating off the vision.
All right.
And a church cannot thrive on division.
Amen.
So there's a difference. Because some of us are just right, no matter what. And God said, no, even if you're right sometimes, you have to yield sometimes. Why? Because I got to go for the greater good. Look in your home. It's not that you're compromising, you're just holding back. What do you mean, Pastor? Because sometimes you just have to hold back and allow God to have his perfect work. Sometimes people have to fall into the follies of their decisions, and they have to see that what they're saying is foolishness to God. But if you're always jumping in, trying to play Holy Spirit, you render God useless in that person's life. They can't hear God because you're always in their ear. Sometimes we just have to step back. Even as parents, I know I love y'all. Love y'all. But sometimes you got to hold your opinion. If you spend all your life raising your children up in the admonition of the Lord, let the Lord have his way in their life. We got to do it, y'all. Why? Because they're not going to learn the value of making good decisions if you always trying to intercept the consequences. It's very practical, right? Yes. So when we look at it, I saw that. Then the Lord flipped me over to Ephesians. Just flip over a few books to Ephesians chapter 4. In between Galatians and Philippians. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1 through 4. Then we'll jump down to 22. 1 through 4 said, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you to walk worthy of the calling which you were called, with all lowliness and gentleness, with long suffering, bearing with one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you are called in one hope of your calling. And we can continue to read on, but it's a lot to read. And then we drop down to verse 22. Now, how do we get to this place where we walk in lowliness? Verse 22 say that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, that you put on the new man, which was created according to God in the true righteousness and holiness. In other words, God said the only way you're going to be able to suffer long, the only way you're going to be able to have patience, the only way you're going to be able to have peace, you got to put off the way you used to think. You can't go around saying, well, this is how God created me. God created you to make a decision. And I had to come to that conclusion about, I remember I told y'all once, I got five times in 3 months. And I was right every last time. To the point I cussed my last lady out. And I went home, my dad said, son, what did you say to that lady? I said, I called her dog. He said, he just shook his head. Now, my mama wasn't as swift as my dad. So my mom took me back because she knew I needed a job, and I think I was in 11th grade or something like that. And so she took me back to the place. And the lady, man, this thing coming forward. The lady told my mom exactly what I said. And the dog started with the letter B. Oh, man. My mama, wow, can I brought shame to the family? Not Sister Williamson. You call her. My dad said, Adam, the boy told you he called her a dog. And you think he said dog? But they were wrong. They were wrong. And so I felt wrong, so I could not let it go, Brother Woman. So I expressed myself in no uncertain terms my displeasure with their decision to let me go. And so I was standing there, and my mom, instead of hitting me and things, she put that cry thing on me. I don't like people crying on me. And that make me feel mushy, feel weak. So I'm out of control. I can't control the situation. You're crying. She said, son, how is it that this is your 5th job? 5 in 3 months. I said, I don't know if they don't like me. She said, okay, son, let's just think this thing through. She said, now if they liked you enough to hire you, why would in such a short span of time they figure out they dislike you? Now in everything in Matthew, you have this thing called the common denominator. She said there are 5 different people hired you. And these people, do they know each other? I don't think so. Me being swift, I should have saw it coming. So could it be that the problem is with you? I never gave that a thought, y'all. I didn't think me. Even on my worst day, I had good intentions. And sometimes we'll walk around thinking that we're not the problem, and we are.
That's right.
We deceive ourselves. And the Bible says you got to put that thing out. Because it grows, y'all. If you don't handle it, it's going to grow. You're going to think you're right all the time. Okay, here we go. So I look at it, I'm like, wow. So if I put off, you just can't stop doing some things. If you stop doing some things and you don't start doing some things, you create a void, a vacuum, a chasm. So you got to replace whatever you're taking away. And so the Bible understands that. So say for example, you and your brother say, well, you got people on my job talking, well, you know, man, Mr. Carr, I'm tired of going to the club. Well, what are you going to do? And I know this sounds like bad theology. I know it sounds like bad doctrine. Don't stop going to the club until you're ready to start doing something else. You got to get tired of being tired. Because what you wind up doing is stop going to clubs, sitting around at home bored, not doing anything worthwhile. You may show up to church on Sunday. You may make it to a Bible study or two, but your heart is still longing for the club. And you wind up going back, never able to return back to the church. Why? Because you tried that thing. And it didn't work for me. So the Bible says, no, when you put off, that means you throw it away. You put it in the dumpsters of life. Let it be carried out by the trash collectors. Why? Because you don't want to see it no more. You don't want to think it no more. Whenever you look at it, it makes your stomach turn. I got to put it. Why? Because that thing was trying to kill me. I mean, the lust is not designed to turn into love.
Oh, amen.
And so we got to look at it right here. It says, put on. We got to put on the new man, which was created according to God, and the true righteousness and holiness. It's pure, y'all. When you put on a new man, it's pure. All it desire is truth. All it desire is unadulterated love. All it desire is to be fed so it can grow.